Where's the remote? Found it.
Turn off the lights.
All right.
Did you grab the drinks?
Yeah, I got them.
Okay, I'm making the popcorn.
It's starting. Come on.
All right. Okay, I'm here. Hit the button. Hi, I'm Jill.
And I'm Gianna.
And welcome to the We Watch It All podcast,
where we watch it all and give you our opinions.
AKA the opinions no one ever asked for.
And we're back with Andor.
Yay!
Oh, I don't think last Andor we got to announce it, but the computer's fixed. It starts and it ends with Andor. Not really. It ended with our weekly podcast, but whatever. Don't be picky.
Don't be picky.
I don't know.
Did you say picky?
Picky.
Oh, I thought you said piggy. That's why I was asking.
Don't be a piggy here.
Don't be a piggy.
Don't make this a pigsty, please. Would you be serious?
Episode 9.
Nobody's listening.
That's what I say when I watch it. You know.
No, that's what they say when you watch it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's more true.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't make before we get into it, you found out after we had recorded our last Andor episode, you got some news from one of your friends at work. Not news, but he gave you a little insight.
It pays to have a real Star Wars person.
Specialist.
Yeah, we are not those people. So
No.
if you've come here for that,
We're just here to have a good time.
It's just, I'm sorry.
She ran into a real life Eric Voss, basically. Or better.
Yeah, no, with Star Wars, he's like, he goes way back into the depths of old school things that, like,
you were saying the legend stuff.
Yeah,
like,
I didn't even know stuff existed, and he was rattling off all sorts of stuff. But the main thing that he told us, which definitely helped understand it, I think, was the show was supposed to be watched in threes. That's why they released the first 3, because they're supposed to be like little movies, like kind of that you could kind of watch independently, but not really.
The arcs are break into 3.
That definitely made it.
Yeah.
Explain it more, because I thought about it. I'm like, you know what? After I watched all 3, I was like, okay, I kind of get it. Or I felt like finally, there's the answer. And yes, we know, Cooper, they're banging on the wall. We hear them. It's okay.
Look at his face, though.
Okay.
He fell asleep, and when they fall asleep, their lips get dried, so
and
they get like a smirk,
furs,
and they have like a Joker all bend up. Face.
Poor
It's so funny. Which, that makes so much sense, because I think if you go back to our first episode ever on Andor, I literally said, this feels like one whole episode. Which makes sense now, because it was supposed to be like
the first 3.
1 through 3. I literally said felt like one. That makes total sense. And even now, this one, I don't know so much about this. Episode 9, I guess, would be the arc from.
Oh, it definitely.
I definitely feel like they rounded off.
I feel like we understand what's going on in the prison or jail or whatever.
Yeah, I think the last, obviously, 10, 11, and 12 are going to be the arcs of like him breaking. He's going to break out in 10, and then like 11 and 12 is going to set up for season 2.
It just made me say to myself, okay, all right, just take a beat, and you don't know what went on in episode 6 truly, or 7 or 8. No, I'm sorry, 6 you figured it out, but like 7 or 8, just give it a minute, and probably at the next one it'll all pull it together. So just like pay attention to the information, and then go from there. But he likes all the old stuff and all that kind of like world building and all that kind of stuff, and
which I
because he noticed there was like lines that I was saying to you that I don't even remember what he said, but there was something when he was talking about the Kyber crystal.
Yeah, the Sky Kyber.
The Sky Kyber, yeah. He was saying something about, he mentioned, did I say a war? Was it that he mentioned? A war,
which, I do believe Luthen did mention a little bit, but we didn't know much about
a war, and I didn't know anything about it, but he said it was like a war that had happened, and it was like, now that they're mentioning it, that should make it canon. And
yeah, I know Eric Voss has mentioned that about like other things. Like I think he said in like Book of Boba Fett, they canonized kind of like the witches of Dathomir, which was from like the legend. So like if you look at a Star Wars book, if they don't have anything written on them specifically saying legends, then they're a canon book. Typically, they'll usually have like a gold band around them that wraps around the whole book, and it'll say legends. They also have a more of like a early 2000s stylized to these books, these older ones that I could say. You'll see them if you go to like a Barnes and Nobles, even a library. I know some of our library had a few of them, but they'll have like a gold thing, and they'll literally say legends on them. But you could like Google a book too. It's not so much as like I guess visual media that doesn't have an issue with like as much as like canonness. It's more things that are like books or some games also are a little bit like iffy. So once they really get into like once they come into the shows and the movies, it's kind of like, okay, now we know that's for real basically.
But I will say I was asking him about the sister. Did he think he would find the sister? Because they started with this whole thing was really started because he was looking for the sister.
And they didn't mention it till just last week again.
And then I said that to him. I said the mom said, "Stop looking for your sister. She's not there. Nobody survived." Which I don't know how she would have known anyway because she didn't go back there.
Yeah, which we said. We were like, that doesn't make sense.
So I don't understand that. But he said in the comics, I think he said, or in the books, I don't think his sister survived. But he said if she were to, he thinks she would come in the second season. Like, we'll definitely won't see her here, or maybe you'll see like an inkling of something that's going to make you go to the next season or something, but he doesn't think we'll see her here.
No, I don't think so. I think this is going to end with him coming like off of jail, setting up for second season. I don't think we're going to get the sister season, considering that in my head I could see them trying to do I think I said 5 years before Rogue One. So I could see them trying to do every single year.
Yeah, that's what he was saying. That he says from what they were saying, that's kind of where they were going.
So
they're going to work up every year.
Draw it out. I do know, I think Eric Voss even mentioned when we watched that one thing that there was like comics about how he got his droid that's in Rogue One.
Yeah.
So they could just do that visually, I guess, in a future season. But yeah, so we just wanted to give you that little bit in case you were, like us, and you were like, it's a little slow. It makes more sense now. So if you're at this point and you're hearing this and you've not watched any other Andor episodes, I would say just wait 3 more weeks and let them all come out.
Yeah.
I would watch it. I think this is going to be better to watch in full.
Definitely recommend it. I do think this one had a lot of surprises in it, like things that I wasn't expecting.
No,
and
I
was
thought
like, there was a lot of like, oh wow, okay, you
good.
got me on this one. Like,
yeah, like I definitely think Andor's story in this one was probably the best overall. The Karn thing is still a little weird. I guess we could start with him now.
He's getting weirder by the minute. I'm sorry.
No, it starts with him being upset.
That's the character he liked the most.
Really?
Yeah, he liked him because he was so bizarre, and I'm like,
yeah, I mean,
bizarre.
he is weird, but like, I don't know. He's not like in a weird that I'm like, ooh, interesting. He's like weird now at this point. No, he gets upset because his mom went through his like private box.
What does he have in the box is what I want to know.
I don't know. I just touched my glasses and smudged them after I purposely cleaned them after this. I have it. And then he fights with her, or like she's like yelling at him for neglecting him. And it's so weird.
And it's so weird. Her speech is so bizarre. Like, she's like, I could have went crazy. I could have fell apart. Like, she just kept talking about how she could have went crazy. And she talks like that, like, I could have fell apart. And it would have been your fault. And I'm like,
it's like weird because I feel like in the first episode she sounded like she had like a Staten Island accent.
Now I don't know
what accent
she's crazy. It's just like crazy lady accent.
Like, wait, cut that out. We don't have any planets that sound like that.
I don't know.
Sound Staten Island.
I don't know what she was trying to do, but I wanted to say, I'm sorry, you didn't go crazy because you seem a little wackadoodle too. I mean,
I don't know.
She doesn't seem straight and narrow there. I don't know. And then he tells her he got a promotion, so she kind of shuts it down and shuts herself up. But
then she's like, Uncle Harlow is going to be so pleased. But once again, what is this uncle thing?
Yeah, they gotta bring him out of the woodwork. I didn't think he left with a promotion.
Yeah, I didn't.
Because she said, if you bring this stuff up, blah blah blah. So I don't know.
I more sounded like he gave her she expunged the record.
Yeah, and then because that's what
I feel like I'm surrounded by chaos right now. I know they probably can't hear it, but it sounds like the hallways and behind us. I feel like I'm surrounded in chaos in my head. My head feels like it's spinning.
It is. There is some crazy stuff going on in our hallways right now, and
it's not Halloween anymore. And it was actually quiet on Halloween.
I know. I was gonna say, I don't know what you're talking about because it wasn't noisy on Halloween, but
no.
You just gotta try to block it.
It makes me like I was losing, like my eyes started flashing and everything. I'm sorry. Where were we? Oh, you were talking. What were you saying about him?
The promotion, and
the promotion.
I didn't think he got it from her, but then he did kind of wait for her, which was he was really creepy. I mean, we all know
her.
Look, we all know he's. I don't think it really had anything to do with her per se. I mean, we all know that he's obsessed with Andor, but I think he thinks he can have some kind of kinship with her because
she's looking
for him, but I don't think she's looking for him in the same wacky way that he is. Like,
he's looking for Andor like, you ruined my life, like, I'm gonna ruin yours.
Yeah, like he wants to like kill him, I think, or something. Where I think she wants to bring him in.
She just wants to get to access /
Yeah.
Luthen. That's what she wants. She wants to shut down the rebellion. She doesn't like care. Like it's more like, okay, well he's.
I did think they were going to work together
there.
though. I thought they were like.
Well,
I thought,
no, now he's weird and crazy.
Yeah, now she's like, you do understand coming here could like have you arrested. And she was looking like also a little. Everybody was looking a little wacky this shift around.
Yeah, which we can move right on to Deidre, because that kind of leads into the like. It starts with her. She's questioning Bix about Luthen, and when she won't give her the answers, they put this like head device on, which the head device explaining was a little confusing. All I know is it made the girls scream.
I don't know. Like they described it, because I'm like, oh god, are they really gonna do like a torture scene? Sorry, like a torture scene. I'm not really feeling it.
I don't care.
No, I was like, I really don't want to do that. But I will tell you, we don't even know what played in that head. What?
Cat hair flying around my face. And
we don't know what played in that headset, because he described it as a decibel between something and something and a child or something. He said
like
about a child.
As a child screaming.
Yeah, something about a child something. I don't know what it was.
He had
but
me going like,
he said the longer you wear the headset, the more damage it does, or something like that. So think about what you're doing or something. But
yeah,
the
like,
thing is, watching him put the headset on, like, that was fine. But then once he had it on and her reaction, like, you were just like, oh God, get it off of her.
Yeah, like,
it was like horrible to watch. And I'm thinking,
like,
I would have rather you just stuck her with a knife in the hand or something, for crying out loud.
Because it was like, I think what made it so weird was like they did like a little fourth wall break, and she's like looking at you right in the eye.
Yeah, it was just like, it was.
Help me.
Yeah, it was the way.
It was like, huh.
Yeah, because she was trying to be strong and not like give in, but I don't think she thought they had whatever they had, the technology.
Why didn't she just start with lying and say she saw Andor last on when he left?
I don't know.
You know? Because it's not a lie. You last saw him when he left Ferrix, but you're just not saying when you last. What was the time you last saw him on Ferrix?
I don't know. If she had thought it through, she might have realized they're not going to do anything too much to her, because she is the only person that has seen Lutheran. Even though she doesn't know what his name is, like, she's still only person that has an actual visual on him.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's why she said, I need her alive. Like, I don't, make sure she's okay enough to, because she's the last actual person that's seen him. So,
yeah. And then Deidre goes back to the ISB to report everything, and she says that they think that they can connect Andor to the Aldhani mission, basically, which it's not wrong. Obviously, she is right to connect.
Yeah, they were talking about what the guards looked like and stuff, right?
Well, yeah, the one guy was like, well, he was clean shaven, and they were saying that the guys in the team were clean shaven, and when he arrived to Ferrix, he was clean shaven, so it must be him. And they ask her if she's questioned his mother, and she said that she's saving her kind of like as a last resort because she's so old and everything.
Well, and they feel like she could be bait, because that's what he came back for last time, was to see his mother. So I don't think he would, though. At this point, I don't think he would, because I think he knows he can't.
No, I don't think so, especially just seeing, like, as, like, a person who the person that he's arrested for as in Narkina 5 place is not even, like, Andor, and that's the crimes he's already facing. So I think to, like, do you know what I mean? Like, being given a different person, he realized, okay, this is what I'm facing just for this.
Stuff I didn't do, because he didn't do that, but...
So imagine now if he gets caught for stuff he did do, and if somebody helped him, it would probably be bad. So I would hope he'd have a little bit of that common sense, but
who knows?
And then they also talk about a pilot that they have in custody.
Yeah, I got a little lost.
Yeah, because I think they were moving so quick. To me, it sounded like they were going... I think they used the head device on the pilot, and they basically wore him till nothing, and now they're going to stage the pilot's death to make it look like it's not their fault. Like, he just crashed. To me, that's what I took it as. I could have taken it wrong, but to me, that's what it sounded like.
Could have been,
like, I think it sounded confusing because they were coming up with, like, 100 different ideas, and they were like, what about, like, no, and then people were like, no, and then...
Yeah, but I think I lost the fact that they gave him, that they put the headset on.
I think that's what I'm pretty sure that's what I heard.
Could be.
You guys can correct me if I'm wrong.
It would make sense.
That's what it sounded like to me. Alrighty, on to our next character, Mon Mothra.
Biggest surprise is there.
Surprise, I know.
It really caught me on that one.
I was like, oh, how was it? At first I had to like do a double take because every time, well, let's just say before we get to that part, we see Mon Mothra trying to say that the PORD is overreaching, preaching it to the Senate.
Yeah.
And I did kind of think that was a little bit interesting to see like the lights go off and everything, like to see like a real Senate thing in action. Like obviously it was in the prequels, but to see it like in this sense where it's just, you know, like I guess a normal day in the council, in the Senate, I guess you could say. I thought that was kind of interesting to watch that. But what we're referring to
is when she gets in the car and her driver is like,
your cousin's here.
Was it your cousin? I thought it was her sister.
No, cousin.
Oh.
Yeah, she says your cousin's home waiting for her, and she's kind of like, ooh, and I'm like, I didn't really think anything of it.
She looked perplexed or something.
Yeah,
like wait, what? And she's like, yeah, no, she's there. And then she was like, okay, let's go. And I'm thinking, all right, who could her cousin be? It has to be somebody important. Never did I think it was who it was.
Yeah.
And we should have guessed it because we did get like a little clue last week, but I don't feel that was enough to connect them to...
Which we should say who the cousin is. It's Vel.
Vel, yeah.
Which, like I was saying, I kind of second guessed because it was like, every time I see Vel, she looks different. Like, you know.
Yeah, well, not how we were introduced to her.
In the Aldani, you see
she
her.
She was very plain Jane. And
yeah, and then even when you see her dressed up, this is like a little bit different dressed up.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, like, they said she's rich, but like, I didn't, you know.
We didn't think she was that Senate type person rich, so.
Yeah.
And now that you're saying she's cousins, I thought they said sisters. Now that you're saying cousins, her family could have different money that she can access that maybe the senator can't at this time, like how she was trying to get her money.
Cut her off, I think.
Yeah.
And at first, I wasn't sure when she walked in and saw her. I'm like, I wonder if she knows that she's also like a rebel. But she does know that she is a rebel.
I just don't think she knows the extent
of what she's doing.
Yeah, like I don't think she knows
that she did all that.
I don't think she does either.
I just think she knows that she's just, you know,
fighting with them.
A little bit, yeah. And then they have dinner with her family. And she tells Vel to just go back to being a spoiled rich girl again, to remind people who she is, which is like kind of true because it seemed like she was kind of staked out on Aldani for quite a bit, like where people might have forgot about her, that you kind of probably should show yourself around, let people know. And then Tay comes over and tells her that she could be in trouble because of a past withdrawal that she did, and she's gonna have to work with Davo Skolden.
Well, that's who he suggested because Tay's the banker friend, the banker. And he definitely said that she's gonna, when they do the books, they're gonna see what she did, and she basically needs like a loan or something to cover it, so that she won't, you know, so that they won't catch on to what she's doing, but.
I don't know who this guy is.
I don't know if I feel like the banker is trying to pull something. Because she said to him, oh, you seem like you have this all worked out already, as if like he knows this guy maybe and he can somehow, I don't know, also benefit from this. Yeah, I don't know. It was like, I just got a weird shady feeling that like I thought like for someone that was supposed to be such good friends with her, I was like, I don't know.
Yeah, like, you know what, he did also say like I could go and look for more options. Like I feel like he would have came with like a plan B in case she didn't agree with this one, but he didn't, so that is a little weird. And that's all Mon Mothma had to do, I believe, for this episode.
Yeah. And
then Andor.
But you know what? Here's the thing. Oh, that's what me and my friend were talking about also. We were talking about the daughter, that we definitely think the daughter is up to no good.
She was a little shady this episode,
because, again, she made too many, like, snide comments about Tay being the mother's boyfriend, that dad will let me do whatever I want. Like, it's just very, I don't know where she's going to end up in this whole thing. I think she's going to,
like, ooh, okay, so originally I was thinking the daughter might snitch on her, get her in trouble somehow, but now I'm thinking maybe it will come to a situation of like Mon Mothma will have to choose between her kid and helping the rebels instead.
I do too.
And I think she would make a choice.
And I think
her rebels.
Or her daughter's gonna have to like, or her daughter will pick a side, and it won't be the mom's side for sure.
But I could see something like that, like where they're like, I don't know, like they take the daughter or something, and it's like, but she'll, I don't know. It'll be like a difficult decision for her to make.
I think so too.
Yeah, I could see that actually, rather than the daughter maybe like, you know, or like the daughter's involved in a sketchy situation because of looking into stuff at the mother or something like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like she's looking into somebody and then now she just wound up in trouble that she shouldn't have been in. That's my little guess. And Andor kind of has like a little bit of like a repeat situation kind of. Because it seems like almost in a sense that the prison that they're in is almost like a Groundhog's Day. Same thing every day.
Yeah.
Because this time it seems like they're getting better, the team. And he ends
up. Yeah, well, it's because of him, because that's what my friend said too, that he's an engineer. So yeah, he's coming to the table with like all his knowledge and making them better. But in that same token, he said he's afraid that it's going to draw more attention to them. But I said not really, because they're the ones that get to be like to skate if they do the most. Like they don't get to, nobody, like, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you want to be like average.
Yeah.
And this, as long as you're not in the bottom, which seems like that was the table he was added to, was being in the bottom.
Yeah.
But he switches neck, putting himself to the older guy on the table, Olaf.
Yeah.
Andor says he's going to take his run, which means basically going to the bathroom. And in there, he, like, breaks his panel. He's, like, cutting some kind of wire. I don't know. I'm going to assume it's probably, like, a mechanism to the elevator.
Yeah, for that elevator. Because now he's putting two and two together, that the elevator is not hot wired with the floor. And that's why they carry the poking stick, the prong thing. Because they need something to use, because they can't turn the floor on there.
Yeah, which
because you wouldn't be able to do that.
He's talking with another guy who is not from his table, so he's definitely kind of spreading this idea.
Well,
around
it seems like that pod, like when you're in your pod, like or those guys that are all in that line, it seems like they're all like friendly with each other or something, I guess. But that was the guy that he was talking to, was the guy that does the sign language across the way.
Oh, he's from the other floor? Or?
Well, he's from his floor, but he's one.
No, I don't think that was him.
Oh, no, yeah. But he's on their floor. No, he's on, because everybody that's in that room is on their floor.
Yeah, I know, he's on their floor, but that guy is just, I think, like part of his team helping him, but not on his table.
Yeah, no, not on his table, but he's the one that does the sign language.
No, it's not. The guy on his table does the sign language.
Oh, yes, you're right.
That's not the same guy.
So maybe he's doing it to that guy or something. I don't know.
No, because it could be that guy, but I don't really know. But maybe he's just trying to recruit more tables to help him.
But their sign language is so bizarre, and they're trying to figure out what's going on, and
they're
not really
two. They
level
said there
2.
was an
They're
issue.
getting like some weird like information, and they're not sure what's going on, and then
I think when they go back to the cells, Andor tries to convince Kino to be like, oh, how many guards are there? Tell me, because nobody's listening. I swear, nobody's listening. And that is kind of Andor's always his whole premise, is that the Empire doesn't care enough about these people to pay attention to them. That's how we get away with everything. And that's always been like his thing, Rogue One and this even. So it's kind of interesting to still see that he, like, this is kind of really where it started, like where he knows nobody's truly paying attention to them.
Yeah. And then they find out from I don't know if it's like the next day or whatever. I
think it was after another shift on the bridge.
They find out that the whole level 2
unit got fried on the bridge.
Yeah, they got fried right there.
Yeah, and Kino kind of loses his cool there. With that's the first time he was really broke, I guess, like his thing. But I think it's probably because I think in that one moment is because like I think he knows he's one of the other closest people to getting done. So it's like, I don't want to get fried right before I have a chance to leave.
Yeah, but he said he was telling them to all pull back.
What?
Oh, you made this face like I did something.
I heard a weird sound, but
that was my stomach.
Oh. I thought it was, look at his feet.
I know. He was telling them all to like just mind your business, say nothing. The less we know, the better off we are. Like, so, because I think the other gentleman had come through and said that, and he said, just keep your guys in line or something like that. And then they go down to do another shift, right?
They do another shift. And that's where Olaf kind of is like losing it. Down. He's definitely not doing well. So they get, they finish the shift and they get him to the bridge. And then he basically completely collapses in the bridge. Yeah. Everybody leaves him except for Kino and Andor, and they get a medical help, which is also a prisoner.
Yeah, I was like, wow, okay.
Like, but what was interesting, this guy had blue on instead of orange.
Yeah, I guess that's how you different. So maybe it was either the floor or what he does.
I think the other guys on the other floors, when they show them, they look like they have orange on. Yeah. But I did notice if you look
identify him as a doctor or something.
Actor.
Doctor.
Oh, I thought you said actor. I'm like you seem pretty wide awake here. I don't think you would mess up like that. If you also look at Andor's like sleeves mostly, and then Kino's sleeves, they're different. So they definitely, the sleeve wise, like Andor compared to the other guys, same. But Kino definitely has something different, I guess, to signify
that he's in charge.
Yeah, he's a higher class than the other people. The doctor ends up saying that he can't save Olaf. He's had a massive stroke, and that what he's going to do to him right now would be better than what happened on level 2.
Yeah, well, he said something about what would happen to us,
what
or
could
something
happen to them, I think.
Yeah, and then they keep trying to ask him about what happened on level 2. Don't you know what happened on level 2 or something? And he said something, he just kept going, I need a trolley and a bag. I need a trolley and a bag. And I'm like, oh, Jesus. Excuse me.
Well, I think he did that because you noticed
The
on
last
the last
time he did
bag,
it,
the
last
guy
time,
left.
yeah, to go see what was going on. But I think he was trying to get out of there before he started any trouble. But it was too late because now that last time, he let it all loose and said that they brought a guy that was from level 2.
No, from
level 4
to
level 2. And they found out he was supposed to be being released. And instead of releasing him, they put him on a different level.
Yeah.
So either he said something or somehow somebody figured out that he got brought down to another level, which I can imagine he would say, well, I was supposed to be gone, and instead they stuck me here. Now the whole level of, I'm sure, knew what happened.
And freaked out. And then that's when they put him on the bridge and just...
Yeah, but it doesn't matter because now they'll have to kill everybody because now this level found out. And
well, as of now, technically only Andor and Kino know, so as long as they don't tell anybody...
Yeah.
Or I guess it would be okay. The thing, though, that is, like, interesting, so, like, I'm just curious, like, I don't think the Empire is that stupid, or, like, this prison, at least, is that stupid to take somebody down to there and not think they would remember it, so maybe they tried to mind wipe the guy, and it didn't go successfully or something, because, like, if you know you're gonna get released, and somebody put you on a different floor, you're not gonna make a big stink about it.
Well, yeah, because I want to go the hell home.
So it's, like, it doesn't... You know, and that also obviously makes sense to why the guard said it would be better just to let me kill, basically, Olaf right now instead of letting him live out his days, because he would have just got transferred to another floor, basically.
Yeah, like he's not going home in a couple of days. That's why I think he kept saying it, because the other guy...
Kino?
Yeah, he kept saying, come on, can't you help him? He's going home in a couple of days.
Yeah.
And he was like, no, I know he's not. He's going to another floor. He's not going home. So nobody goes home.
Now, I'm wondering if, because, so when you watch them in that bridge, they're kind of like these long, like, tubes that you would use between building and building. So they clearly break them off. So they're definitely talking to another, like, when they're signing to another guy that's on the same level as them, it looks like to me.
Yeah.
And then I guess the levels are broken up into bridges, I guess. So, like, you have one side, maybe one room in each thing or something like that.
Yeah.
Because, well, it seems like there's at least two, because there was Kino and his men, and then another guy that Kino talked to that was also, like, a supervisor and his guys. So then maybe that would be like 1 room, 2 room, and then 3 and 4. Maybe there's another 3 people rows, because I think I said something about 7 rooms on whatever floors. But what I'm thinking is, so if you can see those pods, like, it kind of looks like you can see, like, the one underneath them. I forgot what floor they're on. I think they said they're on Unit 2.
Yeah.
But they didn't kill Unit 2, or whatever. So let's just say they're on the 2nd floor. So 3, 4 would be oh no, they can't be on the 2nd. So they're on the 3rd floor. So 4 got taken down to 2. I feel like you would be able to see the 2nd floor essentially die. Right? Like, you would see the thing fry unless they moved the guys out before they did it.
I don't know how they did it without them seeing it across the way.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, they must have...
Because it seems like they give the direction for everybody to move all at the same time. So
but I'm
if
sure
they're
they
all
can
moving...
control parts of the speakers and things like that.
Like, don't you think, like, even if they did that, like, let's say they changed this that, like, one group couldn't hear to leave. But, like, you're still going to be walking away watching the other group stay.
True.
Like, so it's... I don't know how they did it either.
Unless... I don't know. But I thought you could see, like, at least, like, 2 tubes, at least. Like, you know, another floor.
Yeah.
So it's like, if you can see another floor, then it's kind of like... I don't know, then, yeah, you would be able to see the other people die, even if they wiped out everybody on the 2nd floor. Like, nobody survived. Yeah. So it's kind... I don't know. It is kind of... hard to understand. And then the episode ends with Andor asking Kino how many guards are on each floor, and he says never more than 12.
And he responded immediately. And now when he asked him multiple times in that cell, he kept saying, mind your business, stop asking, looking for trouble, you're just looking for trouble, stop asking questions for things that you can't do. And I mean, we all know how Andor is when he gets, like, a plan at hand, but so I'm not surprised.
Yeah, well, this obviously signified that Kino is definitely ready to help him and get out of there, because he doesn't want to stay in anymore. So I'm sure, if not, I'm sure they probably won't pick up right from there, but I'm sure we'll see something like planning in the cells and letting him in on the plan, basically. Which we all kind of knew. Obviously, we knew he has to escape, and he's not going to serve the 6 years because the 6 years is too long from here to Andor. From here to Rogue One. So we knew he was going to escape, especially as soon as we saw him get there, and he was eyeing up the guards, messing up their shifts and things like that.
Yeah.
So I think he'll take advantage of that, and we'll probably start with that next week. Like, I don't know if we'll see him break out next week. Now that I'm thinking,
next week is the beginning of
a new arc. That's what I'm saying. So I think next week is going to be like, I think they're going to focus more on the IBS, maybe, like figuring what's going on there.
God only knows. They'll probably have corn eating cereal again.
Did you call him corn?
I did call him corn. Kern.
Why does he
only
ever eat cereal?
That's a fancy way to say corn. Kern.
But seriously, only cereal he ever eats.
I don't know. And the funny thing is, the mother said she cooked and left him food. I would have loved to see what she cooked.
Well, I mean, Star Wars food is always
cereal.
like weird, but yeah, blue cereal with blue milk is all this man eats. No wonder you can't hold down a real job. You're a child eating cereal. There's nothing wrong with cereal. I'm just saying. I mean, we have cereal, but and cereal is not cheap.
No.
So, especially a trick cereal, those are quite pricey. I'm being serious. It's not like some corn flakes. That's swirled blue tricks.
It's true.
I was gonna say something and then you distracted me with him in the corn. Oh, I was gonna say I think we'll like see like the plan of them getting ready to leave, and then the 10th episode or the 11th episode will be them like they're out in the beginning and then like setting up. But I don't know.
This is definitely him planning the situation for sure.
Yeah, because I'm trying to think of like. Oh my god, so she's doing tricks over there.
She's just on the floor, like, doing her own little thing. Mama.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to, now that I know it's like 3 episodes, I'm like trying to figure out what it would be. Because I feel like technically he should have broken out in this episode, right? So that a new arc could have been started next week.
Yeah, but that could be the one.
Maybe he'll break out in the beginning. I don't know. Now I'm like trying to think so differently about the show because of this. You're just talking to the cat over there.
I'm sorry. Perhaps you want to hit the button so I can go finish talking to her.
That's not how this works. All right. Well, let me do my little spiel. Here we go. Well, I definitely did enjoy this episode of Andor a little bit more. But see, here's my issue. I
think it's just because it wrapped it up and made it make sense. I don't think it's anything else to do with it but that.
It was interesting seeing what's going on in that prison. But my issue is, for some reason, I'm not interested in the Mon Mothra story and Karn. Like, I'm not interested in that.
No,
I'm a little bit more interested in.
I just want her to either do something.
Yeah, I just feel like it's a lot of chit chat from her.
Yeah, she's
like Deidre's is interesting though, because it's interesting to see what we know has happened and seeing the Empire put it together is more what I think is a little bit more interesting. But Karn, I don't know what this man's plan is, so it's kind of just like
just to be crazy man.
But yeah, we'll be back next week to do episode 10, the start of a new arc. Now we know, and also on Saturday, this upcoming Saturday, we're going to post our first ever Real Housewives of Orange County episode. We're going to review the whole first season of OC, which we've already started, and let me just tell you, it's kooky. Look at Sissy's big belly. So come back Saturday for that. Now that we finished Beverly Hills. But if you are a Beverly Hills fan, don't worry, we did season 12. Those are all up for you guys to go and listen to. And on Sunday, I didn't mention this in our weekly podcast, Titans. So if you're a DC fan, Titans is back.
The air's kicking up.
I know. We'll be covering Titans episodes 1 and 2. And on Monday, every Monday, we post our weekly podcast where we talk about what we watch separately throughout the week. We spin a wheel and we talk about like pop culture news.
I think we have to update the wheel too.
Yeah, we definitely got to update the wheel. So if you have any recommendations of things that we should put on the wheel, you can let us know.
I do.
Oh, okay.
I've been thinking about this.
Oh, good. Lovely. That's great. We'll discuss business later.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's it for bonus episodes. Not bonus episodes. And if you're listening to us on a podcast, podcast platform, you can give us a 4 or a 5. A 4 if you think we need to improve, a 5 if you know that we're going to improve, or if we're just perfect already, I guess you could say. But you could just leave the 5 now instead of having to come back. And
you can't come back. I've investigated this. Once you put it in, you can't come back.
So then don't leave the 4. Just give us the 5.
I was going to tell you that, yeah.
Don't even do that. That's rude, actually. So you can also make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications wherever you're listening to the podcast, whether you're listening on a podcast streaming service or YouTube, because you never know when we're going to put up a surprise episode.
Ooh, a surprise episode.
Whoa. And if you're also on YouTube, make sure you give us a thumbs up. Don't give us a thumbs down. Instead, leave a comment telling us how we can improve. Duh. Watch your leg at the mic. Getting a little kooky. She's like, we're right there at the end.
We're so close, Koopy.
Well, guess what? That's pretty much my end of my spiel. Thank you guys so much for listening or watching. We'll be back next week.
Did you tell them to go to the Instagram?
No, you should definitely go check out our Instagram. We watch it all. We post things there. We put 2 little questions up for Andor, and if you're an OC fan, we're gonna put 2 questions up for that, and as well as for Titan. So you should go and answer all those questions. We even have old questions that you should maybe go catch up on.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Hit the button.
Didn't even let me finish. Tell me to.
I want to get to the cats.
Well, then say it.
Hit the button.